Welcome to our TypeORM journey. Today we are going to set up everything you need and understand what TypeORM actually is. So, what is TypeORM? Imagine you are building a house and you need blueprint, database schema to build SQL queries and a way to organize everything. TypeORM is like having a super smart assistant who speak both JavaScript and SQL fluently. Okay. TypeORM type object relational mapping is powerful library that translates JavaScript TypeScript objects into database tables, converts your method calls into SQL queries, handles database connection and transactions, provides type safety for your database operations. Think of it as a bridge between your JavaScript code and your PostgreSQL database. So let's start building it. So let me create one folder here, day one hyphen setup. Inside this, let me open terminal backtick, control backtick. Let's type here npm init hyphen one. Sorry. First, we need to go to day one setup and here npm init hyphen one and one package dot json has created here. Now let's install here npm install type orm pg and reflect metadata. So it's a required dependency to in order to work with type orm. So let me install it. As we will work with TypeScript, we need to install here TypeScript and TS Node. Till that time, I'll create here .getignore file. Let's add here node modules slash. Okay. Now let's install npm install hyphen d means it is a development. We need this type slash pg. With that, also we need TypeScript and TS Node. Now in the day one folder, let me create one file as tsconfig.json. Let me clear all, and we also need here npm install as a dev dependency node one, so that when we are developing, whatever we do the changes automatically it will be reflected in TypeScript from the TypeScript. Now let me come to tsconfig.json. Here I want to give here compiler options. Inside this compiler options, I want to target to, let's take here ES 2018 maybe. Yes, and let's take module as common chase. Let's take lib as same ES 18 2018, and after this out directory means where I want the TypeScript out. After compilation, I want in the slash dist folder. After that, let's take root directory as we will create here one src, so the TypeScript we will write in /src folder. After that, strict I will make it to true, and yes module uh, enter op, let's take it as true. Let's take skip lip check as true, and for this thing I want to select that is true, and experimental decoration as true, and emit decoration metadata, decorator metadata, let's take it as true. Okay, now what we want to include here, I want to include src slash star star slash star, means I want to include in the TypeScript this folder. And what I want to exclude here, let's take here exclude node modules, right? We not need in this TypeScript is folder to compile it, and dist folder. Okay, so this is our tsconfig. Now let's move to src. Let's create here one folder as src. Let's copy it, and here let's create app.ts for now. Let's import here, import reflect metadata. Next, after that, in the TypeORM, let's import database source. Okay. Now, after that, let's define the database connection here. Object of database connection configuration. Let's define it. Let's take const app data source. Let's take new database source. In this, we need to give some configurations. Let's take type. Let's take type as Postgres, as we are in this tutorial we will go with PostgreSQL. After that, host, let's take it as localhost, as my database was running in localhost, so I will take a localhost. In what port it is running? It is running at 5432. And what is the username? In my case, the username was uh, maybe my user. Yeah, my user. Let's take here password. Password is my secret password. And after that, let's take database. So let me open the pgadmin here. Inside this, you can see this is the local database. Let's create here one database. Click right and create database. Let's give the database name as TypeORM underscore course. Now let's click on save it. So our database has created. Now the same database name we need to give here. Let's take TypeORM here, which we have created, course. After that, synchronize. I will give here true. I will give this to create the tables only for development. Okay, only for development. Like whenever we define a table class, so that should be automatically created in our database. I'll come to that later. After that, logging. Let's take here login is equals to true. Show SQL query in console. Whenever we perform any SQL query or any operation, so that query will be shown, that will be logged in our console. Let's take here entities. For now, we haven't created any entities. We'll add entities in this in the next video. Okay. Now, let's initialize the database connection now here. So let's take here app data source with the configuration which we have defined at the above. Dot initialize. Let's take here uh, maybe dot then. Let's pass here a arrow function. If the connection is okay, so it will go to then block. Okay. If there is any issue, it will go to cache block. Means there will be any error while connecting to the database. Let me take this in next line. Also then I'll take in this next line. Let's console log database connected successful. Okay. And let's also give console log welcome to TypeORM. If there is any error course, here we'll get the object of an error. So let's take here and console dot error database connection failed. Let's give the error here, error object, whatever we receive in the params. Now, after that, we have defined the database connection in the app.ts and it has initialized, we have called here. Now, if we'll go to in our terminal and let's execute here nodemon or it's a node src app.ts. So we are getting an error. This is why, because first we need to compile it, right? So in order to compile it, let's take ts node src app.ts. ts node is not recognized as the name. Okay. So I think we have already installed it. So let's try it again. Let's copy, close all. Yes, node. ts hyphen node src slash app.ts. So guys, error was we need to execute here npx ts node source app.ts, and before that I have done one more mistake. The course course it should be. Okay. Now let's execute it. So you can see uh, our code has executed and the SQL query was, you can see in the console, and the database connection was successful. Okay. So it means our code is running now. Now Let me go to package.json. Now let's define here scripts. So let's give here start script and def script. Let's take here start script, and let me take start script as node ts node src slash app dot ts, and let's take here def script as in the def we will use nodeman. So let's take node one and let's execute the above script. Okay, execute ts hyphen node src slash app dot ts. Now let me go to console and let's first save it, and let's execute npm run dev mode. So you can see here still we are able to connect to the database. Okay, and let's execute start script npm run start. So both the script is running now. So we have connected to our database successfully, and tomorrow we will create our or in the next video we'll create our first entity. Think of it is as designing the blueprint of a database table using TypeScript classes. We'll build a user entity and see how TypeORM magically create the corresponding PostgreSQL table. Okay, and you will learn entity decorations, different column types, how TypeORM maps TypeScript types to PostgreSQL types. So thanks. Let's meet in next video.